Dim jumped out of sleep, nearly falling off of the couch. He rubbed his eyes with his hooves. Are you okay, Dim? Discord asked, looking a bit concerned for Dim. I'm fine. Just a bad dream, Dim said, his eyes widening slightly as he looked away. Last time you said that was not long before T-Rex came back. What happened? Discord asked, looking even more concerned. I I don't know. It's hopefully nothing. Dim stared out the window. Dim woke up and looked around his castle bedroom. He rubbed his eyes with his hooves. When his eyes adjusted to the dim light in the room, he nearly jumped out of his skin. Stargate, would you stop watching me when I sleep? Dim yelled, holding his blanket over his body with his front hooves. The sudden yell startled Stargate out of her trance. Sorry, sir. It's a force of habit, really. I, uh... Dim held his hoof up, shushing her. You're fine. It's just that you startle me every time. Dim gets up from his bed and then begins to walk down the halls of his castle. You woke up just in time. You have 2 hours before you must get ready for your 12 o'clock, Stargate said, holding the clipboard in front of her with her wings. My 12 o'clock? Questioned, looking down at her with a confused look. With Twilight. You said you would meet her in Ponyville and then visit your baby cousin. Dim looked at the ground, then nodded. Right, right. Sorry. I'm not the prince of remembering. I'm sure Twilight is ready to visit her niece as much as I'm ready to visit her as well. They turned into the dining hall. Dim locked eyes with Flim, who stared back with a smile. Dim shook his head and realized that it was just the head chef. Morning, Garcon. Dim gave a small, shy smile as he sat on one of the chairs, Stargate sitting next to him. And your schedule is clear for the rest of the week. You'll have plenty of time to take care of Little Flurry while Princess Cadence and Shining Armor visit Canterlot, Stargate said, still looking at her clipboard. She is really cute. I've never seen a baby alicorn until I met her. Persona brought a plate and set it down in front of Dim. Here you go, sir. One of Granny Smith's famous apple pies. One to your liking, of course. Thank you, Garcon, Dim said, before he used his magic to pick up the fork and take a bite of the pie. Perfect as always, Garcon. Dim smiled at Garcon before returning to the pie. A couple hours later, Dim and Stargate head to the train station, being followed by the General of the Guard, Striker Bold. Please, sir, at least let me come with you, Striker said, trying to get Dim to let him go so he isn't alone and unsafe. Please, Striker. I don't want to scare the ponies with my presence. You know how I feel when it comes to being treated like royalty. Sure, the princesses like it, but I'm far from enjoying it. Please, sir. You never know what could happen. Enough, Striker. Go home. I do not need anyone beside me. I can handle myself. Striker went to say something else, but Stargate began to drag him away. Have a nice day. Dim turned back to the tracks, stared out into the nearby mountains. He looked ahead on the tracks and could have swore he saw Flam for a second. He shook his head and just saw a regular pony. He sat there for a few hours, waiting for the train to arrive, but nothing. It's usually never this late, especially with Twilight waiting. And no matter how much I hate to say it, me. Dim started to look worried, sweat beating down his face. Dim entered the train station and walked towards a pony. one of the worker ponies at the train station itself. Excuse me, do you know when the next train is coming? Oh, Prince Starshine. I don't know. We haven't been able to get a hold of the train that's on this route. Last place it stopped was in Ponyville. I am truly sorry. Dim looked a bit disappointed. If you want, I can get you a personal ride. No, no, it's fine, stopwatch. I can walk. It's not like I don't have legs. I can't forget about my wings either. Have a nice day. Dim turned and left, walking towards Ponyville. Dim walked through the thick trees around Ponyville. It was eerily quiet. Dim eventually made it to the main street and looked around. His eyes locked into a pony, crouched down in front of another pony. Hello? Where is every pony? Dim asked. The pony stood up, if you could call it that. His legs were triple jointed, making the pony crouch down lower to the ground. He turned around, and nobody could mistake who it was. Luna? Dim's eyes widened. Luna was a monster. She began to approach Dim, and just as she jumped, Dim awoke with a jump.